today, Sunday, I really like this paper. I've decided it has a little sort of woven texture to it. But it's smooth, if that makes sense. It can be textured and smooth at the same time. What I mean by smooth, I think, is it's hard, and the ink is not bleeding, and I don't feel any issues there. And I thought what I would do today is see about maybe starting another doodle book. There's a couple of books I have that are essentially awful. No, they're not awful, but they're just, I don't know. They're kind of useless. Some are useless. To me, they're useless. One is a beautiful reproduction of a Gray's Anatomy book, which, yes, has probably some value to an anatomy person or to a doctor or to a Frankenstein, but it might be more fun to me to doodle in it. So here are some books I have. This one called Lost Fish and has fish drawings that were made in 1700 or I don't know when. And I decided in all of the empty spots I would draw my own doodle fish. Like right in between these two I could draw another one. Like I've done here. This fish now has one fish that I drew that was similar, inspired by. There's 4 fish on this. You know, this could work better if this were higher up. 4 fish instead of 1. This has 3 fish instead of 4, instead of 1. 3 extra fish. Look at this funny looking thing. It's like the fish tried to swallow a swordfish and a sawfish, and it went like that. That looks like a nasty one. These flounders with the 2 eyeballs on one side of their little head. Anyway, so yes, a very good friend of mine seemed to be sort of mortified I was ruining a good book, and that's debatable. This one, the Curtain Sketchbook. This is, I think, meant to be number 2. There must be number 1 in the. So here's some person. Wendy is that person, and illustrated by Chrissy Carey. Without these wonderful sketches in my book would be empty. Well, in some cases, I think that might have been a better option. These. It's not so much the drawings. The drawings are perfectly fine in doing what they do. It's just this 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 design attempt is pretty funny. When I saw this book at the bookstore, I had to buy it, and I thought what I could do is draw out the window some very interesting apocalyptic scenery. You know, here the French doors are open, and outside is the Panzer tanks coming into the chateau. Oh, this is so beautiful. This la-di-da. And look, they can't even leave a perfectly good sconce alone. They have to wrap it with something. Now, some of you may like these things, but oh, here we have, you could hang your child's blocks on a string on the ends of this. Make sure to use the shittiest number 2 white pine you can find, and oh, here you can have your collection of shells. This is the minimal look. No, this is not minimal. Here, let's put the curtains, when they're open, let's have them completely block the view. You can't look right there. Yeah, these are pretty grim. But I think it would be fun to create, make your door look like a garage door. Oh, you know, you're at the fancy French restaurant and you want to be at the Italian restaurant. Well, you just pull down the gingham shade. Make sure to put a trunk in there, but have the trunk lock. If you want to get in the trunk, you have to move the trunk and turn it around. Make sure to do that. This is when someone dies, mourning. You take out your black trimmed. Ignore the man behind the curtain. So here's the Wizard of Oz at his computer desk, where he sends nasty texts to the, oh, they really do like this, you know, put your entire jewelry collection. Yeah, these will be fun to draw on. And if I'm clever, I'll draw it with an ink brush and make it look like they match. Oh, here you can take 2 cut down perfectly good trees and then nail them to the wall and then drape them with glitter and froth. And these look like just a set of altar pieces. I know they're supposed to be the panes of glass, but just draw the panes of glass. Bed covers. Yeah, having, you know, limbs sticking out from underneath might be fun. Headboards. So anyway, this will be quite fun. Wendy Baker. Thank you, Wendy, for creating this lovely volume for me to play with. This one, I thought it would be fun to sort of draw over the text areas with just calligraphic doodling, like I've done, you've seen me do many times, and just sort of fill up the whole page. Where are the dirty bits? You know, when they have the dirty bits in this, they always have them cut in half, like they put through the machine at the deli. Sir, could you cut this in half? You have some anesthetic that I can perhaps use to deaden the pain. So these will be fun. I was thinking I might want to do a map of how to get from one place to another. Maybe how to get from the hospital to the morgue, to the city morgue. Would be fun, but make it look like it was a anatomical drawing with, I'll just show you what I mean. Let's say the hospital is here, and here's the morgue. And I thought it would be interesting to sort of have it look like one of those anatomy diagrams where you have, you know, this is the aorta or something, but this is actually Highway 27. Highway, how do you spell Highway 27? And then you take exit 6, and then you cross over. These are veins or tendons or something, and then you cross over to here, and then you go here, and you're at the morgue, and then you'd, you know, sort of have all of this drift off for the autopsy, the medical examiner. So the hospital, the car crash is right here. Here's the car crash. Here's the car crash, and here's the other car, and here's the tandem bicycle parts. And they hit with such force, and there was so little, there was just enough springiness here in the bicycle to have them bounce back a little bit, but not before they completely destroyed the two bicyclists. They were on their honeymoon. They just left the church. They had tin cans on the back of their bicycle. Just married with a little banner. Just married. Here's his top hat. And they were flattened, just completely flattened. So, but they weren't dead yet. So they brought to the hospital, tried everything, the jaws of life, the whatever they did, whatever those people do in the hospital. And then they both died, but they have to be brought to the medical examiner because it could have been, see, this car was, let's see, this car was driven by the woman who really wanted to marry the guy, and even though she was a bridesmaid, she spiked his punch. And the same sort of thing happened here. This is one of the groomsmen, and they both said, you know, if we can't have them, no one can. So they spiked their punch so they were a little bit blurry. See, this is very complicated. You're going to see this on the forensic files. You're going to see this there. And then I thought anyway, this story I'm telling you is inspired by an idea I had for a map. And it was how to go from A to B, but have it look like a very complicated drawing of the human body anatomy. So you'd see muscles and organs and stuff. And here you see the, you know, whatever it is, blood vessels or arteries going from, you know, and this thing that looks like it might be a kidney is called the morgue or the medical examiner's office. And the thing that over here looks like maybe like a lung is the hospital. What do you think of that plan? And then over here, we could also have it to the cemetery. So I think that's a good idea. What are your thoughts? So I'm going to put that over there. It belongs in there. Held concrete abstraction. Okay, so this is what some artists do. They take a piece of paper that's 20.5 inches by 24 3/4 inches, and they take out their India ink and a big old brush, and then they make that. Oh, you didn't see all of it. Now that you see all of it, you can understand it. I was hiding part of it, so of course you didn't understand it. Okay, here's another one. And I thought, okay, Al held. I get the picture. And there's nothing wrong with it. Here's an N. There's a backwards N. This says no. But I thought I could do something that was more interesting. Not profound, like your work is, Al, but more fun. So, I could look at this and I could do a drawing, with like this. These were the first 3 lines of an actual drawing. And how would that be finished? I'm sorry, Al. I didn't mean that. This could be the legs and the pregnant belly and of something. A23. Well, the title explains everything on that one. PL34. Now I don't think these actually had titles. I think these are just some sort of B19 67B16. I don't think that these titles are meaningful. They're catalog numbers. Because even Al Held, who made those things, didn't care. Look how wondrous our hands are and the shadows they make. Oh, so expressive. So I've just given myself how many new projects? And I've got a mountain of dirty dishes in the sink in the kitchen around the house. There's dirty dishes. That would be a project that you would think I might want to deal with first, rather than what I'm dealing with, deciding what to do with books. So I honestly don't know. What are your thoughts? Bye.